101.3 My FM in the morning, 7:29 Tuesday. Madelyn Paquette joins me after 8 o'clock. She's a Sudbury singer-songwriter from Massachusetts who's going to NYU right now, a very prestigious music school at NYU, the Tisch School of the Arts in the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music. She's got accomplishments, folks, and she just wrote a song that COVID-19 inspired her to write this song when she was kicked out of NYU to go home during the lockdown. And they said she was just about ready to start spring break. And they said, "You're going home. We're not doing this. Get home." She was all depressed and upset, of course, as anybody would be. And she went home and wrote this beautiful song about things getting better. Better weather. It was raining the night she left, of course, right? But she saw better weather in the future. So we'll talk to Madelyn after 8 o'clock, and we will hear her song. 101.3 My FM in the morning. It is 8:09. You know, we're going through a tough time right now, obviously, and I'm very involved with the local music scene. It's been tough for us. It really has been. I know a lot of singer-songwriters out there that it's been tough on. But luckily, because we have social media, we're still sharing our music to you guys. And it's been a pretty special thing that's evolved from COVID-19. I don't want to see that go away. I am ready to get back to live performances in front of real people. I think that is going to be really a big relief on many of us. But I do love the connection everyone's making on social media. So let's not forget about local artists, local musicians, people that make a living doing this thing as well. And let's not forget about the music that's being produced during this time. A lot of people writing about their situations with COVID-19. And I have one of those artists on the line with me right now. That's Madelyn Paquette from Sudbury. Good morning, Madelyn. How are you?
Hi, Ray. Ray, thanks so much for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. First of all, congratulations on being nominated for an Independent Music Award. That's pretty big.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that came very unexpectedly. I had submitted my independent music a long time ago, and then it just kind of came out of the blue, especially with everything going on now. It was really amazing to hear. Thank you.
It's nice to get good news around this time, right?
Totally.
First, let's talk about Baby Safe Haven. You've been a spokesperson since 15, a national spokesperson. Can you tell me about Baby Safe Haven?
Yeah. I got involved at the beginning of my high school experience. Right now I'm a sophomore in college. Baby Safe Haven, under the Baby Safe Haven law in Massachusetts, a woman can safely surrender a newborn baby up to 7 days old to a staffed worker at a hospital, police station, or fire station with no fear of prosecution. So you're completely anonymous. Everything is completely confidential. They've never announced anything about a safe surrender. So basically it's just really important to call the hotline if you're in one of those situations. The Mass hotline is 866-814-SAFE, and it's open 24/7, so it's a really, really great resource for anyone who might find themselves in a situation where they might need some options. So yeah, I've been working with them, since high school, and just trying to spread awareness through youth contact, peer-to-peer, and yeah.
It's the big yellow sign, by the way, and I think we have one here in Milford at the police station. You can't miss them.
Yeah, they're very bright.
So let's talk about your career as a musician. You grew up in Sudbury, and you come from a long line of musicians, don't you?
I do, yeah. I live in Sudbury. My whole father's side of the family is very musical, so I grew up with a lot of musical influence around the house.
And you have is it a grandparent that plays in a band in Germany?
Yeah, my uncle. My dad.
Uncle.
Yeah.
And what does he do in Germany?
So he's a big band frontman, a jazz band, SWR big band. He's an incredible musician, so I really look up to him.
I think when you hear Germany, all you think of is the Papa bands. So that was in my mind. But it's a jazz band. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's really good.
So what are your earliest memories of you playing music?
Ooh, definitely singing with my dad. We would play these little harmony games where he would, pick a song and sing it, and I'd have to come up with a harmony. So I think that kind of started my, creative side musically. And just singing, I remember singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz a lot. That was, my favorite song. And ever since, I just, sang and got involved and started writing music and progressed from there.
And like you said, your dad was very musical, so did he see promise from an early age?
I think he did. I think when I would play those games with him, I don't really know what he thought, but he says, yeah, you had a good voice, and we love to hear you sing, and you were so happy when you sang. So I think he hoped I grew up having a passion for it, as he did when he was young, and still does today. So
that's great. And when did it become serious for you?
I think in about 4th grade, when I was like 9 or 10, I wrote my first song, and I realized, yeah, you can sing. You can sing along to the radio. You can sing in your room, but you can also write music, and that was something that really changed my life. Just putting your experiences, putting your friend's experience into a song, and having a little package of an experience, and tell a story and maybe move someone with it. So
yeah, what kind of story does a 4th grader tell? You remember the subject matter?
I think just like typical playground drama.
Playground drama. I love it. So it was like a serious drama-filled song, but it was about playgrounds instead of love. And,
right, exactly.
Life lessons.
Brushes here and there,
Oh, that's great. And then you go to NYU and the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, which is very hard to get into.
Yes, I'm there now. So grateful. It's been an amazing experience. Yeah. Did
you grow up as you were coming into your own as a musician? Were there many other musicians around you other than family, because you had a family full of musicians, friends in high school? Sudbury, not a huge town, Massachusetts, a small part of the country. I know when I grew up, I loved music, but had nobody around me that played music. So I never really got into it till later on. Now, I would imagine at NYU, especially being at the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, they're all around you. But how was it for you leading up to NYU?
Yeah, there was definitely a relatively small, there were a couple people who were kind of on the track to do what I wanted to do, be a songwriter, be a performer, be an artist. But in high school, I was so fortunate to be involved in the music program, which was so crucial to me in my experience in high school. I was in 3 a cappella groups and the chorus, so I was very, very involved. That was like my main thing at school, and the community there was really great. So it was good. I was exposed. I had a lot of friends who loved music around me and sang with me and stuff like that, and the talent shows and fundraisers and all the stuff like that. So I think I was pretty prepared to go to a place like NYU, but I had no idea, that there could be so much even more possibility with artists who do so many things in a concentrated area, and being able to collaborate with all of them at once.
So going to NYU must have been mind-blowing. Like, oh my God, I'm around people that are just like me.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Although being someone who kind of writes typically in like a country acoustic style, I grew up on a lot of folk music, so I was a little scared because the New York music scene definitely doesn't really reflect, at least from a distance, like folk and that kind of acoustic music. But I was very surprised. I got there and met a ton of people from Texas, from Carolina, from all over, and so there's a place for everybody. There really is.
Yeah, you found your clique. We're fortunate in Massachusetts because there is a huge country and folk presence here. There's the whole Nashville to Massachusetts or Nashville to Boston movement. I forget what it is, but it's very accepted here.
Yeah, it's been really cool to explore the scenes both in Boston and in New York.
And the 2 country stations here in Boston. So congratulations, you ended up on Cruiser's Spotlight.
I did, yeah, thank you. It was fun.
All right, so let's talk about the song. This was obviously inspired by COVID-19. Spring break had started for you. How far did you get until you had to turn back and go back home?
Yeah, so we were all expecting to go home for spring break, and a couple days before we actually left, we were told, pack up maybe more of your belongings than you thought. I didn't really know what that meant at the time, but my parents were like, all right, Madeline, pack up as much as you can. And I was like, oh gosh, okay. So I did, and on that Friday, I think it was like the March 12th or 13th, my dad drove to New York to try to eliminate my exposure on a train. I usually take the train.
Yeah.
But so we, drive home, and a couple days later, we get the email that says, yep, you're out. So come back to get your stuff in the next, 3 days. So my dad and I drive all the way back, get the remainder of my stuff, 4 in the morning, not enough coffee.
And where did the bad weather come in? Because I know that was part of the inspiration.
Right. Well, I actually didn't think about it until a little bit later when I was finishing the song. But the night that I first left New York, that was, I think, the point where I didn't know the least. All I knew was that, okay, take some of your stuff because you don't know when you'll be coming back. And for someone who, really, really loves teens and knowing what's going to happen, that was really crazy. I know for a lot of us that was probably the case. But so I had my car all packed up, ready to go. I had just said goodbye to some of my best friends, my New York family, and I was just sobbing my eyes out because I had no idea what was going to happen. And it was raining. And I noticed that a lot of the time, I don't know what it is, maybe I don't know, but when I'm really stressed out or feeling really overwhelmed, usually it's raining. It's definitely a coincidence, but I just, that's just what happens, psychic landscape.
Sure, you just have that rain cloud above you at all times.
Yeah, so it was raining, and it was just very emotional. And then I got home, a couple days later, and I just kind of wrote the rest of the song, and better weather happened. And
well, now it's a positive song. So you're ripped from your friends. COVID-19 is just starting. There's a dark cloud above you. So nothing seems to be going your way. What turned?
I think honestly, something that's always been at my core is especially as an artist and someone who writes really emotional music, whether that's, happy or sad or whatever. I think just it's always been so important to me to let myself feel whatever it is, to the extent of what's going on in your own mind, and you can kind of start to unravel it. So I think that was definitely relevant here. There was so much going on. I was so scared for everyone's safety, my family, missing my friends, adapting to these drastic lifestyle changes. And then, once you kind of start to really feel it and process it and unravel it, that's when I started to really write the song. And doing that kind of helped me cope and just kind of get to a better place. The song is kind of it reflects my thought process. It starts off with a lot of kind of fear and, and then it gets into looking ahead. So I think once I wrote the song, that kind of allowed me to take a bigger step back and, and be grateful for what I have, my family, my friends, my health, and just kind of remember that it'll get better. We just have to, the better weather will come. We just have to wait for it.
Sure. Yeah, it's going to rain today, but better weather is coming up soon.
Exactly.
We don't have a great week ahead of us, but this weekend's supposed to be 60 degrees.
So, I can't wait.
Right?
It's so beautiful. We can all sit on our lawns and.
Yeah, it's so positive. It's so upbeat. How did you get it recorded with the stay-at-home situation?
Right. So I have a little setup in my room. A couple mics, some guitars.
Sounds great.
And I produced it.
Wow.
With the help of actually, it always takes a village for these projects, and mine couldn't meet in person, but we still made it happen. I had my sister sing on some of the harmonies, which was really cool. My boyfriend in New Jersey is also a producer, and he sent me over the strings tracks with the violin and also the beat. So he sent me that, and we worked together. And I sent it I was taking the songwriting class, while I was producing this. And so I played it for my songwriting class and sent it to a bunch of people and mentors and teachers all around the country, and they all gave me some really valuable feedback on the song and the state of the mix and all the stuff. So it took a lot of people to get it to where it was released. So
there's a whole story behind the making of the song, not just the writing of the song, but there's a whole story about the song itself getting produced, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing is with me is because I make mostly acoustic music, that for me that's been a little bit harder to produce on my own, alone in a room,
Yeah.
Because this was piano based and I had some help with the strings. This was something that I was really proud to have released that I, fully produced. So I think, yeah, it was really amazing, and I'm so grateful for everyone that helped me out because, yeah, these times, man.
I'm sure you've written plenty of songs. Has the style changed because of the COVID-19 and you being stuck at home writing Better Weather? Has the process changed in your head that may stick even past this?
Good question. I think whenever I'm writing, I want to give the song what it tells me it wants. I think this time in particular, I just heard like straight to the point. I just heard like it's a ballad, but it gets really hopeful. So I want piano and I want strings, and I try to just always give the song what it screams out. In this case, it was piano, but a lot of the time it happens to be more of like a country acoustic feel. But I really I wait and see and do whatever I feel is needed.
Madeleine, how can people get in touch with you, learn more about you, hear more of your music?
Oh, okay. So if you would like, you can follow me on my social media. My Instagram is Madelyn Paquette, Madelyn Paquette, and you can look up my name on YouTube, Spotify. I released Better Weather on Spotify last week, and I have a couple of other songs there. And you can also visit my website, MadelynPaquetteMusic.com.
And, of course, Baby Safe Haven, you're a national spokesperson for that organization. That's babysafehaven.boston, and the hotline is 866-814-SAFE. Well, Madeleine, thank you very much. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Ray. Have a great day.
Would you mind introducing your song here as I play you out?
Sure. Thank you so much. This is Better Weather. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that it warms you up inside a little bit.
Thanks, Madeleine. Take care.
You too.
This life is uncertainty. Answers need them urgently. Not knowing is burning me. I'm out here pacing nervously. I know it's out of my control, the way the future will unfold, but it's getting hard to stay afloat. I'm reaching for something to hold. Ooh, I wonder when it'll be our time again. Ooh, but we're gonna have to take our time with it. And I'm gonna trust you. Yeah, I'm gonna trust you. Consequences, how do we measure? A ton of bricks are light as a feather. Our actions matter more now than ever, but diamonds form under pressure. I'm taking pictures in my mind before I leave it all behind. It's time for us to sacrifice, and maybe we can save a life. Ooh, I wonder when it'll be our time again, our time again. But ooh, we're gonna have to take our time with it, our time with it. And I'm gonna trust you. Yeah, I'm gonna trust you. Oh, I never used to have a reason, but when you're drowning, it's the perfect time to start believing. 'Cause baby, we're all on this ship together, and we're on our way to better weather, better weather, better weather, better weather, better weather. Oh, I never used to have a reason, but when you're drowning, it's the perfect time to start believing. 'Cause baby, we're all on this ship together, and we're on our way to better weather, better weather, better weather, better weather, better weather. Oh, I never used to have a reason, but when you're drowning, it's the perfect time to start believing. 'Cause baby, we're all on this ship
101.3 My FM in the morning. That's Madelyn Paquette from Sudbury, going to NYU's Tisch School of the Arts and the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music. Nominated for another song, Broke Like Me, for an Independent Music Award. And she's pretty amazing. Also a national spokesperson for Baby Safe Haven. Madelyn Paquette. If you like the song, let her know. Go find her on Facebook and on YouTube. Listen to her music and tell her how much you enjoy that song right there about better weather to come. Of course, it's going to get better. It's always going to get better. Just when you think you're down, don't worry. You're going to get back up again. All right, we're going to take 2 minutes. We'll be right back with your news